Gaza ceasefire talks, the eternal sequel nobody asked for. In a move that has Middle East diplomats dusting off their best hopeful squint faces, representatives from Israel and Hamas gathered today for yet another round of ceasefire negotiations. This marks the 47th, or is it 52nd? Who's counting? Attempt to pause the fireworks in Gaza, where the only thing more predictable than the next rocket launch is the inevitable group photo of stern handshakes followed by a swift return to business as usual. Picture this: a sun-baked conference room in some opulent Egyptian palace, where the air conditioning hums like a reluctant mediator. On one side, Israeli officials in crisp suits, clutching briefcases stuffed with security concerns and maps that conveniently redraw borders every 5 minutes. On the other, Hamas delegates, sporting keffiyehs and folders labeled rightful resistance, ready to counter every concession with a demand for 3 more olive groves and a pony. The agenda? The usual suspects: ceasefires that last as long as a Kardashian marriage, humanitarian aid corridors that double as smuggling tunnels, and vague promises to build back better, code for let's slap some solar panels on the rubble and call it progress. Optimism. Muted faster than a TikTok sound at a funeral. One anonymous aide whispered to reporters, off the record, "Naturally, we've got more drafts of this deal than seasons of The Bachelor, and it always ends with someone storming off into the desert." Enter the wild card, the International Peanut Gallery. The US envoy arrives with a suitcase full of unwavering support, for one side, anyway. The UN reps clutch their blue helmets like Lucky Charms, and Qatar's mediators sip mint tea, wondering if they can expense this as diplomatic therapy. Meanwhile, back in Gaza, civilians stockpile canned chickpeas and eye rolls, muttering, "Another plot twist." At this point, it's just fanfic. Will this be the breakthrough? Please. History's script is etched in stone, or at least in the endless loop of press releases. By week's end, expect a tentative framework announced with fanfare, only for the first rocket to whistle in before the ink dries. Handshakes in Cairo today, headaches in Jerusalem and Gaza City tomorrow. It's the Middle East peace process, where every meeting is a reboot, and the only winner is the guy selling popcorn to the gods watching this tragicomedy unfold. Stay tuned for the next episode, Ceasefire 2, Electric Boogaloo, now with more Iron Dome. In the meantime, if you're feeling generous, send thoughts, prayers, or perhaps a strongly worded tweet. What else ya got?